think being hooked on drugs is bad, you haven't seen the solution yet. Last night we aired allegations of physical and mental abuse from former clients of an Orlando drug clinic. Tonight, Times investigator Alan Cohn takes you on an extraordinary look inside that facility.
What in the world is going on inside this modest storefront on the outskirts of Orlando? And why do these chants and these images haunt people like Denise more like echoes from time spent in hell?
I have nightmares about it. I hear songs that remind me of it. I see people, I hear expressions. It still controls me. It's still a nightmare. And I wasn't even a client in the program, but my daughter was, and when I think of that.
Just what exactly was her daughter Lucy a client of? It's called SAFE, and if you ask Florida Governor Jeb Bush, who visited last spring, he'll tell you it's, quote, a very successful substance abuse program and a valuable tool in assisting our youth in overcoming their drug and alcohol dependency. But if you ask Steve Hassan, an internationally known expert on mind control, SAFE
fits my model of a destructive mind control cult.
Decide for yourself. We visited the drug rehab center the morning after talking to former clients and their parents in an exclusive interview with the Times.
They tried to take your thoughts away and pull out old ones.
Who charged they were manipulated.
When I questioned them, and when you question anything in the program, you were told that you didn't trust and that you were weak.
And humiliated.
Yeah, I was forced to hold an enema in my hand and stand for about an hour and a half. The attention being focused on me about every 10 minutes on how I was full of crap, how I needed to be flushed out.
I'll bring that thing over your head.
What we saw with our own eyes were clients 18, 19 years old in timeout. Teenagers at attention, arms straight out, to signal their desire to go to the bathroom. Frenzied escorts to and from the bathroom, where the teenagers are watched as they urinate by other teenagers.
When they come into the program, they basically lose all freedoms, except they can breathe and cough and sneeze. Everything else, they have to request permission for.
In most cases, prisoners have more rights. All of this takes place under the supervision of SAFE's executive director, Loretta Parrish, who is greeted with adulation every time she speaks at group counseling sessions.
You made your life a mess.
There is a queen there, Loretta Parrish. She is the founder. She is to be regarded with the utmost respect. She commands a certain type of power.
We teach them that given respect, where respect is earned, is a sign of strength.
And they gave me respect, even after I asked about this undeniably odd custom of flapping their arms during group sessions.
We motivate, which is how we get called on, and granted it seems a little ridiculous and it feels a little ridiculous sometimes, but it shows like our motivation for basically like recovery.
I thought you were going to knock yourself out. It shows how bad we want to get up, how bad we want to do this, and I know the harder I motivate, the more chance I have of getting up, and the more chance I have, the more effort I put out, the more I get out of it.
I'm flattered, but just a little bit puzzled about what I just saw. However, Stephen Hassan isn't.
I'm very concerned about any institutions that are doing destructive mind control techniques on their young people, trying to make them dependent and obedient to the group with the claim that they're trying to help them become sober. In fact, it looks like they're just switching the dependency from drugs into the dependency on the group.
Hassan should know. He's a former Moonie and now a Cult deprogrammer hired by Alba Murphy in her failed attempt to get her son Weaver out of SAFE.
It's not like you just step into recovery.
Weaver Hastings not only is still in SAFE, he leads the group sessions there.
Well, I got very overwhelmed with like fears of like relapsing and fears of falling back.
Love! Weaver! Love you!
Where despite all the flapping, there appears to be some good therapy taking place.
It is tough because it requires people to get down into the depths of their soul and to trust other people.
And the young people we talk to at SAFE swear by the program.
This program is the hardest thing, definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. But it's also saved my life.
SAFE has been in existence for 8 years, handling about 40 clients at any one time. The program is for profit and accepts no state funding, but officials here say they could not provide us with accurate statistics on their success rate.
I know for me and a lot of people that are like me, a lot of my friends that are in treatment here, we've all been in other treatment centers, and this is the only one that has like worked for us.
But how do you jive those testimonials with these?
I was denied food. If I wasn't compliant with them, I wouldn't be allowed to eat.
When a child or a client would get progressed in the program, one of two things would have happened. Either that child would have talk about a sexual incident from the past involving one of their parents, or they would have to state publicly that they accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior.
Alex Spasoff and his wife Denise used to house SAFE clients in their home because they believed in the program. A program where teenagers, including their daughter, were forced to shower in front of other clients.
You had to strip again, and they had to search your mouth, search your hair, and look at you completely naked to make sure you had nothing to bring in the shower. I felt inadequate. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was angry. I felt violated.
As I run a very strict ship, and a lot of people don't like that.
Parrish denies forcing clients to admit a sexual incident with a parent or accepting Jesus as their savior, but she has no apologies for the other accusations.
I'm a Christian. I'm a very devout Christian, and when I share my faith with my clients, I share my faith. I don't hold them accountable to have the same one. My God is my God, and I will share him with you. But that doesn't mean that he's yours.
Is this form of tough love an effective way of freeing these youngsters from the stranglehold of drug dependency? To find out, we asked a respected drug counselor to look at some of the video we shot in Orlando.
Jim Gilliland is with the Miami Coalition and has been a drug counselor for 2 decades.
Jim, what do you think of that?
I don't know what, it scares me, quite honestly. I don't know what to think of it. I'm stunned, I guess. Why? I happen to firmly believe that you need to treat people with dignity and respect. I see no kids in that video being treated with dignity and respect.
We showed Gilliland video of SAFE's clients in timeout.
These people are 16, 17 years old, correct? They're not 2?
We showed him kids being taken to the bathroom.
You can fear and scare somebody into behaving a certain way for a period of time. It's been my experience that they leave angrier and more resentful with no more self-awareness and self-discipline.
Gilliland was so distressed by what he saw, he's demanding the state investigate SAFE. Meanwhile, the former clients and parents we talked to continue to pick up the pieces of their lives, wondering about what exactly they've been through.
You were deceptive. Not one person even knew that you were coming representing that coalition of parents.
Ms. Parrish was not happy when we began asking about the concerns of the former clients and their parents.
Ma'am, I'm not representing anybody except for the station that I'm working for.
But parents like Denise Moore remain haunted by their experience at a place that was supposed to be safe.
Just sitting here, I'm very anxious. I don't know what SAFE is about. All I know that it's a sick program, and I know that that there's something underneath SAFE that we don't know about yet. There's something bigger about SAFE that we've only touched the iceberg. We just touched it.
You're scared.
I'm scared.
Jim Gilliland may be demanding a state investigation, but remember, Governor Bush wrote this strong endorsement of the program, and he wrote it after our visit to SAFE. But late today, a spokesman for Governor Jeb Bush told us if a complaint about SAFE is filed with the governor's office, it will be looked at. Ben.
SAFE has not broken any laws, though. They're not doing anything illegal, correct?
That remains to be determined. At the outset, I thought that maybe this could be strange, but nothing illegal. But Jim Gilliland said forced strip searches, invasion of privacy, he's not so sure, which is why he's going to be calling for this investigation.
Great story, Alan. Nice work. When we come back, proof that a hand count is hands down the worst idea of the election.